We're calling the meeting to order, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Everyone has a copy of the public charge. Town council asks that you please mute your cell phones. Do not speak when someone else is speaking. It's hard for, do you have the recorder started? There. You know how it is when you're trying to listen with both ears? Same way with the recorder, so it's hard for them to get the transcribing done. We have the minutes from the May 11th meeting to approve. Do I have a motion from the board to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Mhm.
We need to approve the minutes from the June 8th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Have the minutes from the June 23rd special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion. Yeah, if one of us.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? And we have the minutes from the June 25th special meeting, the budget meeting to approve the budget for the fiscal year 26-27. Do you have a motion to approve those minutes?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? We will now go to public comment. The public comment period is if you have a public comment, you'll have 2 minutes to speak, and the board is not required to respond to public comment. Does anyone have a public comment? Okay. David Cook has requested to be on the agenda. David will have 5 minutes, and the board may respond. David?
No, okay. I was talking about the Helene Hot Springs Baptist Church. There was a food distribution thing for the Helene part. Well, it closed down at the end of December. And there was a lot of stuff left in the church that didn't get used. So me and Judy's been taking upon herself to start cleaning it all out. We've got a Beacon of Hope in Marshall. They're taking everything that we can give to them. We took stuff to the elderberry, the large diaper things. I've hauled several loads of spoiled stuff out to the dump. But what I'm getting at is the church paid us $500. I don't think that the church should have to pay us to clean out the church. I mean, it was a benefit for the town, for the people up Hot Springs, and it was a big benefit to everybody. So I just wanted to ask if Jess could find it some way to come up with some money to pay us to clean out the church since it was used by the people of Hot Springs. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're asking the board to reimburse the church?
The church, and we still got stuff to do, so we'll need some more money.
Discussion from the board?
And how much would you say is left to do?
There's several things of adult diapers or still can stuff we gotta go through that's probably outdated, that we have got approval to throw in the dump. We've had other people say if there's some that's still good, they'll take it. We took there's case after case after case of hand sanitizer in there. If anybody needs any hand sanitizer, just come and help yourself. But like I said, Beacon of Hope, plus all these racks they put up in there has gotta be took down, something done with them. If anybody needs racks, they're welcome to come and get them. But the church don't need it, then we're going to clean the carpet. A year and a half of people stomping in and out of the church, it hadn't been cleaned, so all that's gotta be done, I can get everything out. Well, it's probably gonna take another month to get everything out. We don't work 40 hours a week.
Sure.
I work myself in Wiggleville, so it's like we do 2 or 3 hours every change we get. And we're going out to the meeting today to go ahead and load the car up there and take it to Beacon of Hope tomorrow. So as I go to work and come back through, I just drop it off to save an extra trip up there. Like I said, they said they'll take anything we got, so. There's old baby formula, there's diapers, there's soaps, like I said, canned stuff, adult diapers, there's gloves, hand sanitizer, anything that anybody might need like that, they're welcome to come and get it, just let us know.
So
They're throwing it away.
they're not gonna be using, for Manna Food Distribution
Gail
anymore?
said she did not use any of that stuff. What she
No, I mean,
gives out is,
they're not using the church for that anymore.
Gail is
Yeah.
using the church for stuff that they broke down for her to give out. But she
Okay.
said she's not using any of the stuff that was left there.
Was that the understanding though, whenever, I guess, the town left it? Was Gail saying that she wanted to use that and that's how it was left? Like, why was it not cleaned out from?
Yeah, she said,
They,
when she first took over, when we talked to her about it, and I told her that, Mandy was working on getting everything out of there, and she said, go ahead and leave. I could have misunderstood, maybe she just wanted to leave the food, but she said to leave it and she would use it. So,
I don't know anything about that discussion, but like I said, we've hauled canned stuff and I hauled a whole truck loaded up and trash bags full of macaroni and cheese that expired. So, she said, Judy texted her, she said, no, she wouldn't use any of the stuff. We're getting rid of it.
okay.
So you've already used $500, is that what you're saying? Are you
The
projecting?
church paid Judy $500
Yeah, already, so that's already done. Are you projecting another 500, like,
That will be fine.
based on what you're looking? I was just trying to get an amount or a dollar amount of what you've done versus what you still have to do.
Well, we've probably got about as much to still do as we've already
That's what I was
done,
wondering.
so. Like I said, I'm gonna take down all the racks, vacuum, clean the carpet, get rid of whatever else is in there.
Okay.
So,
I don't know what kind of agreement, you guys had made with it, but no, that's where.
Well, it was verbal,
Verbal, okay.
yeah.
And yeah.
So I guess that's something we can just discuss and just get back with him, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you,
David.
David.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Okay, the first part of our meeting tonight is going to be, public hearings. We have 3 projects that we have to have a public hearing for. They're CDBG, in order to apply for CDBG grants. And I'm gonna go ahead and let, Cena get everyone started on that. First, we'll be talking about the, volunteer fire department resilience, shelter station. So it'll be about 15 to 20 minutes. Brian, are you gonna be doing the fire department? Presenting
I
that?
can help, I will be
Okay,
Vanna White or something.
Thank you.
so this is, it's for a grant. Each one, probably 15 to 20 minutes for this, including, after Brian does the presentation, if anyone has questions, you are allowed to go ahead and ask questions regarding the designs. And like I said, this is in order for us to apply for a CDBG Community Development and Block Grant for disaster recovery, is what that means. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you. So, a little bit of background. You probably have heard about the community center and Jailhouse project, and ADC will be, Avalanche and Design Center will be presenting that. This is I feel like I'm right by the pole, but I don't know how to be. I don't want you to be able to see this or, so, this is part of that. This is the community infrastructure. And so part of what, like Abby was saying, so we come up with ideas like community members or town needs. And then we do, with the help of Land to Sky, we do a pre-screen application with NC Commerce for the Community Development Block Grant. And then we can meet with Commerce and they provide us feedback on the feasibility of these ideas to be funded by the Community Development Block Grants. And then through, is it the Southwest Commission?
Yep, and Community Foundation of Western North Carolina. So yes, Southwest Commission, our neighboring council of government, is administering this program that allowed us to get these fancy plans here
Yeah.
in place.
So CPL is an engineering firm, and it was all through a grant that the town didn't have to apply for. It was, they got all the grant fund from the Community Foundation to help with engineering services to help communities across the region to be able to apply for these grants. So they came in and did surveys and blueprints, and then they provided these fancy drawings. And then now we're in the step where we're doing the public hearing, and we have town resolutions to formalize the public hearing. And then once we receive all your feedback, and you have, is it 10 days?
Mhm.
You have 10 days after this meeting to either email the town or stop by. You're also welcome to ask questions now.
Yep.
But if you think of things later, you're welcome, just drop by or drop an email by and let us know. This is all part of the public hearing, this is for the community. And then once those 10 days have expired, then we will do the complete application. Now, this one is due August 4th.
Sorry, this
Oh,
one.
no,
We're
September,
working back.
September 4th.
September 8th for this
8th,
one, and
okay.
then we'll get to the August 4th one next.
I
But
thought we were doing
we're-
town hall first. That's
Yeah,
still in my
all
mind.
good.
All right, so we met with some folks from the volunteer fire department, and the pole barn was in needing a lot of repair to accommodate the very large fire trucks and the different things. So most of you might be familiar with the U.S. Forest Service property, and this is what they're proposing is where the building will go. I think maybe the next one would be the next one. So this one here will actually be the layout of the interior of the pole building. So the apparatus bay will be where they'll be able to park their existing vehicles or fire trucks. What we were getting the feedback from is they didn't have space to walk around their own vehicles. And that was essential if they had to provide any service or do anything. They should be able to walk all the way around their vehicles. And then they will have additional lockers for storage, for all their equipment. And we did play around trying to do 2 stories and different things. And this was the best use of space from the feedback. They'll have a day room where if they do training classes, they'll have the opportunity to serve lunch or different things. Or if eventually, planning for the future, if and when Hot Springs could hire fire department staff, they would be able to stay here. And that was the goal, was to be able to have 1 and 2 bedrooms, to have some staff stay there for the long term. If we're going to do it, might as well plan. So in order for this to be someplace they could stay, there had to be laundry, showers. The reason there's 2 laundries is because this training/community center room could also be utilized as a shelter. And one thing that's been learning a lot is if it's going to be a short-term shelter, the square footage per person is reduced. So I don't remember, do you remember how many people it said it could?
I think about 20.
20, yeah.
It's about 20 people it could safely house to the standards that are set by North Carolina for 48 hours. So, but when it's not being used as a shelter, it can be used as training in a community center. And in order for it to be a shelter, it has to have handicap restroom and showers. It has to have separate laundry. And then this would also be, the riser room and different storage. It has separate exits and things. So, are there any questions about that? Yeah.
How large is this rectangle?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's 40 feet, was it 180 it ended up being, or 140, 145? 145 feet long by 40 feet?
Yep.
Yeah. They also had to have room to turn around the vehicles and be able to back in the truck. So that also limited the size of the building or adjusted it.
I assume the picture you're holding up here that's got the black rectangle, that's representing the footprint of the new building.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And we tried different angles, different suggestions, but that fit the best with saving the existing buildings that are in good shape and could still be utilized for different needs of the fire department or the community. What is nice about being able to have this as a shelter, it's way out of the way for flooding and then with the fire department or snowstorms. We talked about that. We understand parking might be limited, but there is some parking at the trailhead or possibly the school if you'll let us park there a little bit if need be. And then people could be shuttled in if need be in the event of a snowstorm. We talked about having a generator for the space in case of power outages. We could, winter storms, stuff like that.
The size of the grant you're applying for is
So, community development block grant.
the size.
Oh, it's 10 million per project.
That's right, for this one's up to 15
That
million.
was
Up to
So
15
this
million,
one, the
okay.
next one we get to is 10
And
million.
Okay.
what does that 15 million encompass other than construction of this building?
We're not applying for the full 15, but it encompasses like all of this, all the materials, the demolition of the old building. There'll be some paving and concrete work, moving the existing propane tank. So that's what it does. We haven't got to the spot costing on this one yet.
Okay.
The other, the town hall is costed because that one is due August 4th.
Gotcha.
So that's one of the days of I'm like August 4th, everything's August 4th. So we haven't got to the costing, but that's something else the engineering firm is helping us do. So they'll help us put together the package for the grant application, and then it goes to bid.
So there's currently no assumption that it would be 15 million, you're just asking for the 15 on the off
Y-
chance that
that-
it goes up?
That's the max.
Correct, that's the max we can
Okay.
request in this cycle, and it does include soft cost permitting and environmental studies, all
Of course.
the stuff will be included in there.
But you, as you said, you're not gonna necessarily ask for the full 15, just what you need to accomplish.
Correct.
Exactly.
And is this where the current fire department is? And
Correct.
what, is there a plan for what happens while this is being built?
I don't believe we've got that far. I imagine that'll be a conversation, like if we're awarded what we're going to do with the existing equipment and
Yeah.
vehicles.
Because they still have to get in and out. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's a good question.
Because that's fire and EMS.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't affect EMS at all, so this is,
But where is EMS gonna,
EMS is still here.
okay.
And that's what we're allowing 20 feet. Is this where they park the ambulances? Right?
Yeah,
This is where they park the ambulances, and this is EMS, so this will not impede their flow at all. We wanted to be very mindful and careful of that.
Yeah.
We didn't want to encroach on what they have going on, so.
So are you gonna expand the parking? What, I mean, if the trailhead's full, because I mean, we've all seen the trailhead being full over
Yes.
there. And, I mean, the local fire department will have 10 cars just on 2 or 3 calls, and I'm just worried about parking, and if you're gonna expand, you know, are you gonna buy more land on the backside for parking?
I would, if it's, like, you mean when it's a shelter?
I mean, sure, I mean, even when it's not a shelter, I'm just saying regular calls. I mean, I know when the fire department burned down my house, that we went up to the fire department to say thank you, and there was probably 10 or 15 cars there. So,
Fire departments from all over the area there for that one for training.
sure,
Yeah.
but I've been there for other things, and you'd have up to, 10 cars. We're gonna put 10 cars plus everyone in the shelter, plus, I'm just thinking,
Yeah, I would
If
think
you-
if it's, well, first of all, as far as I know, there's no plans to buy additional land and
Sure,
to
okay.
expand the parking. So the footprint of the building was trying to maximize the space and maintain the current parking. Something maybe to consider would be if it was like a snowstorm or a flood, the trailhead probably wouldn't have cars. And the school may, if it's not in session, may be able to offer available parking.
Just because I'm taking a look at this from a long way away and my eyes aren't that great, what is the building across from what you're planning to put in?
Right here?
Yes, what's
I
that?
think that's part of their current classrooms and storage.
no,
Classrooms
that's
and
where the fire
storage?
trucks are now.
That's
That's where the
currently-
fire trucks are.
Oh,
now.
okay, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's just not big enough.
Is it gonna be torn down as a result of building this new place or
No.
or repurposed?
It'll be repurposed.
Yeah, all these existing buildings, like even this building right here, they use that, I think, for fuel storage only, and that is going to stay. But that was part of the reasons of having the new
That
building
location.
right here was to maintain the rest of the existing structures, because they're in good shape and they could be repurposed.
The new building, will it have the exhaust mitigation systems in it and the industrial washers to wash their gear?
I would imagine so,
I
that
believe that was
CPL, yeah, that's
discussed, yes.
probably why they have the separate, plus I think you have to have the separate for the shelter.
Yeah.
And this is, we'll be having a follow-up meeting with the engineering firm this Thursday, so we can address these points such as the parking,
Yeah.
laundry and all of that. Yes?
Serpentine is very small of a road. How big is the equipment that they're gonna bring in to do all this stuff? And how are they gonna go in and out?
I imagine that they would continue to use serpentine. I don't see, like, I don't know if it'd be giant bulldozers and things, but they'll have to exist within the current space.
Fire trucks in and out of there.
Yeah.
Well, and there was discussion of reworking that entryway and
Mm-hmm.
make it a little wider to allow easier access for the equipment and cars and other vehicles to get in and out a little easier.
Because it's just a little wider than it's a very narrow 2-lane road, that's understandable.
That's my property right next to it. Just a broad question, should I expect any impact on my?
You're right here?
I'm right there. Any impact on my property on this?
Just noise for the next 4 years.
Yeah, how long would the project be going on for, and outside of noise, what else should I?
Yeah. I don't know how long it would take. We're very much in the preliminary phases. Like, we don't even have like the costing set up for engineers still working on that. We can ask though.
Yeah.
So it would be a demolition of a building and a complete rebuild. So I'm not sure, but we can let you know as soon as we would know something like that.
When they come back with the preliminary engineering report, there should be a timeline in there that would highlight each phase of the project, which we can then share with you all.
Is it a matching grant?
No,
Okay.
we do account for funds that are leveraged. So for example, the engineering reports that are being produced as a result of
Engineering firm?
by that one engineering firm, we can leverage the cost of
CPI.
that, as not necessarily match, but leveraged contribution to the project, but there's no matching funds that the town would
Or the
need-
county?
or the county would need to
So the
contribute.
plan is this would not cost us anything?
Correct.
Thank you.
I have one silly question.
Yeah.
Fire Station Resiliency Center, did you explain, and maybe I missed this, why is it Resiliency Center?
It has to do with the shelter being right here and
Okay.
having a training room.
Got it, thank you.
Are there any questions or comments right now?
And we'll leave all these big printed out plans here, so
Mhm.
if anybody wants to come by and check them out in more detail. Then additionally, please feel free to pass along your comments so they can be taken into account as we continue those discussions.
Yeah, we're here 8 to 5, so if you think of anything, please stop by and let us know.
Thank you, Brian. And so we have a resolution here. It says, whereas the Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen had indicated its desire to assist in Hurricane Helene recovery efforts within the Town of Hot Springs, and whereas the board fully supports the proposed project by Hot Springs Resilience Hub, which will result in the development of a new volunteer fire department facility that will also serve as a community resilience hub in the event of natural hazards and other emergencies. Whereas the board wished to pursue a formal application in the amount of $15 million, which we know it's probably not going to be $15 million after it's costed. That's what we will apply for. From the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Community Infrastructure Program. And now therefore be it resolved by the Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen that Town of Hot Springs is authorized to submit a formal application to the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Community Infrastructure Program for Hot Springs Resilience Hub. Does the board wish to adopt this resolution? To apply for the grant? That's all the resolution is right now, is just to apply for the grant.
You need a motion for that or what?
Yes, we have a motion to approve, adopt the resolution.
I'll make that motion to adopt the resolution to apply for the grant.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Thank you.
So, this is another community development block grant. Did any of you get to go to the haunted house that was on the second floor of Town Hall? We've seen the handprints. Nobody in here attended that?
We did.
Awesome. Was that the last time it was used, maybe?
It was.
Yeah. You know what? It's just as spooky. It has retained its spookiness. But with these community development block grants and with all the assistance of our partner organizations, This one has the same guidelines, everything except for it's up to 10 million. We are not asking for the full 10 million. It would just be what the project is going to cost to do. So this is a proposed use of the space of the second floor of Town Hall. We've talked to some folks, or some things have been brought up in the community about maybe needing access to business space or possibly access to retail or different ways to utilize that space. We have kind of thought housing was even considered once, but we didn't think that would be a good use of the space for the second floor as an effort to be good neighbors. So this is the existing stairwell. It does have its own access from the outside, so that's a bonus, and that could be sealed off. There is a proposed lift in here. It is not required. Town Hall will no longer be using the basement for any sort of activities or storage or anything. So it's considered a second two-story building. It's what the engineer said. So they said we're not required to do that, but it is in the grant as an add-on to the project if we so see it fit. I think it's a great idea, but it depends what everybody else thinks. And but there would be possibly 3 rentable spaces. There's 1 bathroom. That's the existing bathroom up there now. There'd be a second one added, and it would just be 3 basic spaces. There is some water damage done to there. There could be, if we wanted to add on asbestos testing, that could also be done. There's fixing parts of the roof and the ceiling and a lot of different structural needs for the second floor of Town Hall. But doing some office space was what seemed to be possibly a need in the community to help utilize the area. So this grant, this project has gone through costing, and I think it's 1.6 million with all the add-ons, with the asbestos testing and the lift included in that price. So what do y'all think? Yep.
Does that lift have to be added to be ADA compliant? Or does that not, is this building too old to have to do that?
From my understanding of what the engineer said, that we are not required to have a lift because it's a 2-story building.
But it can't be ADA compliant without a lift. So would this make it ADA compliant?
It would, I imagine, yeah.
Well, there's 2 steps to get from the sidewalk level into that side entrance that would also have to be addressed for that.
So there probably would be other things involved, and we have to probably make sure one of the bathrooms was handicapped accessible and things like that. So there might be a few steps, but the lift was an add-on that may or may not be required. I think the lift itself was like 120 or 122,000.
Easily.
I think if the town were actually using it for town business, it would have to be ADA compliant. But because of the age of the building, I mean, you've got other buildings that are 2-story and they're not forced to become ADA compliant. So if this is just being rented out to other businesses, I don't think it has to be. Of course, I'm not an expert on that.
Is it a historic, on the National Registry? It's not.
It is not, no.
That bothers me. If I remember correctly, there's something about the percent of your renovations as a percent of the total building that makes you have to be ADA. If it's under a certain percent, you may not have to, so you'll have to check into that, depending on how much it costs to do that renovation.
Definitely, I'm not sure what those percentages are, but that's what's nice, like the engineering firm, they talk about like sprinkler systems, they talk about all kinds of different things that go into the design of the building and what is needed and required, like to bring everything up to code. All the wiring needs done, would need central heat and air upstairs. There's all different kinds of requirements that they know, and those documents, can be made, available.
What's the return on investment? You're gonna rent out the building through the city, what is your return on investment?
I don't have the numbers, but the goal would be is to pay for the upkeep of the entire building. So if something were to leak or break, or like a new roof was needed a few years ago, that this would afford for the payment of the building. And allow the town to have extra storage space, since we're not utilizing the basement for some of the filing systems, and then offer the rest to the community.
So is the basement getting boarded off?
No, there's water, there's like a sump pump in there and drainage and things, and, I don't know, like plastic around for, mold and different things, so it's not gonna be like a it's still there, and it has brand new stairs going right down to it, it's got lights there, the only thing down there is the hot water heater right now, and the sump pump. And I think there's a dehumidifier down there as well. We're hoping maybe once we get to the point of like the sidewalks are completed, that and some of the drainage that happens with DOT and the road, that it fixes some of it, but they're still having seepage and heavy rain. So, and it likely, so not utilizing the space seems safer.
But your expectation is the grant it's not a matching grant, it's the same as.
It's the same, yep.
Okay.
Community block foundation.
So return on investments.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I would
From
say,
day one.
like,
From day one,
great.
you're big-
From day one, it's 100%.
Okay, just one at a time, please, one at a time.
My thought was, if the rooms weren't getting rented, but there's still electricity being used to keep it cool, keep it whatever, but if no one's using it, then it's just, once again, another lack of, my brain cells working, lack of wasted space again, right? You put in all this time and effort, putting 1.4 million, when you could be using that 1.4 million for something else that's gonna be more beneficial to the town, like, or to the people, or whomever, the community. And, you know, which is great, I love it, like, I mean, I would love to have a place where I can go rent a room for, and get out of Timmy's, like, get out of my house for a day or something, or have like a full, like, board meeting in one of these spaces where you can rent out. That's great, I mean, my business and I could totally benefit from that. But then, I know the numbers of running, how long it's gonna take you to make sure that the power, the water, everything, manage, who's gonna manage it? You're gonna manage it, you know, CNN, like, in that time, that's gonna take her, you know, another 2 to 3 hours a week, or a month, who knows, you know? So,
There's certainly a lot of unknown variables.
Sure.
You know, we haven't even discussed like what the prices would be to rent any of this out yet. It's still very much in the early phases, and that might be something, I think that was mentioned in the grant application as well, and so that's
can we
something
see
that.
that grant, or can we see
Yeah,
those?
absolutely.
Are they available online yet?
Yes, so we can, I mean, we can definitely share the notice of funding opportunity.
Sure.
Happy to share any kind of information summaries that we have, but the actual like application is work in progress, so. But can definitely share all the notice of funding opportunities, what has all the nitty gritty details of, you know, what's allowable, what's not, and all of that. So we can certainly disseminate that to everyone, just so we're, you know, above board. And one thing Cena and I were talking about is to include with the application is just getting some letters of support or interest from folks or businesses that would be interested in utilizing that type of space, just for further justification of why the application is being submitted.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with it. Oh, sorry. Why are you're muted? How did that happen? You know, I'm not saying, I'm just like in my thought process that this is great, but I know you're working on 20 other grants, you know, so.
Well, in the renovation of the town hall right now, the floor upstairs is a danger. Did that get remediated in the fixing of the town hall with what we've done so far?
The
Is that-
second floor?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so.
So this would
Just-
also
yeah.
help preserve the
Right.
building of town
Right.
hall. For anybody that has been upstairs after the haunted house, or
There's
maybe
much
during
kids
it, there are parts where there's been water damage and the ceiling needs adjustment. So this would help preserve the town hall as well. And I think that would be, no matter what the space gets utilized for, that would be good for the community years to come.
So a fair portion of the consideration of this grant in general is the mitigation of continued degradation because of the damage that's already seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
place in the pink area that you can see through the floor to the downstairs.
And then there's a place over here where there's a whole, like there are, as you probably noticed, a healthy flock of pigeons
Yeah.
in downtown. Some of them live next door, some of them live in town hall.
So,
And
so-
that,
That's in the hall, right?
if this doesn't get done, then all the work we've done to fix the town hall itself
Right.
might all be for naught if we don't maintain the rest of the building. It could have adverse action.
it could. Now, as far as I
Okay.
know, the roof has been repaired, so it's not leaking anymore.
Right.
But there are some places where you can see the light coming in, and you can see like the wood has been damaged from
Okay.
water. So.
Thank you.
I think there are two factors in the rental. One is how much per month or per unit of time, and also for how long. I mean, would the town basically be taking the highest bidder, or would there be some constraints and limitations on what could be done with it? She was talking about renting it for a special event, but that's very little money for a short period of time. So how will the town decide whether, how to rent it? Will there be a policy about that?
I would imagine there will eventually be a policy. We haven't started thinking about what would be charged at all yet. There has been some interest and there has been some conversation about even people on vacation and different things needing additional office space. So that was something, I think as we especially approach a new idea, it's like, wow, I never thought of that. What are all the things that will be needed to make that happen? How will it complement the community needs and like the local businesses that are already here, people running their own home offices, so,
Is there only one access, one entrance to it?
yes.
Is there a hallway where you separate the three?
Yeah, there'll
spaces
be
that you
walls,
talked
so
about?
yeah, if you walk up here, there'll be a hallway between the two bathrooms to this office, and then there's this hallway here
Okay.
into this room. This is a partition wall, would be a private office. There would be two here if we wanted to do cubicles or two desks to see what was also needed. And then this room has a private office here and a private office here and 3 desks.
Okay.
The advantage also of doing offices like this is that they could be changed quite a bit. If we see that, oh, some business wants, I don't know, like just this, well, just this could be run into private or some other way. Or if you wanted to reconfigure it, it's easy to move tables and chairs. Maybe not walls so much, but the tables and chairs and different things. So if, we get feedback from the community that something else is needed, adjustments can be made. So,
Could always do it like banker's hours in Marshall.
yeah. And this is something the Spring Creek Community Center did. I don't know if it was a similar grant, but it was something that they had done with office space. But I think this would be fairly useful. And again, it's very pliable. If retail seems to be what the community wants, the space could be retail. The only thing we talked about maybe that probably wouldn't work is housing. So.
And so we're intending to submit this application by the deadline of August 4th. So with both community infrastructure that we talked about with the fire station, and then commercial district revitalization, which is this project, and one that the community center jailhouse project, there will be multiple rounds of this. So, but our goal is to try to get this one in with the first round, just so we can get that process going. We need to go back and adjust and shoot another shot. We can certainly do that, but it was definitely a priority just trying to get one of these projects in. With the first round, this was a little more straightforward than City Community Center Jailhouse in terms of getting just all the pieces that we needed to get the application submitted. So.
And again, kind of keeping it a bit of an open concept, but with the idea the space could be rented, so it could generate enough income to pay for itself, and this helps preserve the building. I have the packet, it is a long document, but it can print it out and have a copy available in the town hall, or here, community center, if you'd like to look at it.
I have one last question. So August 4th, so that's coming up. My question would be, you're very familiar with all the different projects you guys are thinking about. Are there other projects that this grant could be utilized for that anybody up here that's familiar with all the projects would say, is there any debate that like, there's another one that might be worth debating for this money? Or is it really, this is the only one that would qualify for that money?
I believe this is pretty much the only one that would qualify for it, so that's kind of how they were selected. We looked at the community, kind of trying to guess what the needs are, and even if, you know, we get the, well, we will get the, hopefully, the application in August 4th, and then it takes a while for Commerce to decide, and then it's, I think, selecting an engineering firm, and then that firm bids for the, so it's not like, oh, we're awarded the funds, and then we're going to start right away either. So we have the support of Land to Sky helping us with a lot of the documentation and the reporting. And I don't know if it's like 5 or 6 grants Land to Sky is helping us with, but they're helping us quite a bit. So it's not, all of it is on the town.
I like this idea. I mean, outside of like parking and stuff like that, this is a fantastic.
Yeah, you can't park up there.
And I would say, just to add about, you know, different projects that were discussed for these, important aspects is having site control, so property that the town, and so, you know,
It had to be tied back to the disaster, it had to be town-owned buildings, and so there were things in the grant that required the selection.
And this grant had to be in the economic district, in that like downtown commercial district. So, and there is one other project that's the same grant that we're getting ready to
It's a
see,
little bit
so-
different because of the base flood, so.
Right, but like,
Oh, yeah,
the
same
same
CDBG.
bucket of funding,
Yeah.
that we're getting ready to see next, so this isn't the only
Gotcha.
one. And there were, North Carolina Economic Commerce did come here and host open forums to get feedback, so the community has been in those forums and has given feedback for months now. So it's not like these were like, oh, we gotta get this grant in, and this is like last minute woo-woo. Like, there was a lot of discussion leading up to this to get to these 2 projects.
That was part of it, there was an April weekend, not weekend, but during the week with NC Commerce here. And that report should be available, or did she send a draft? I think she sent the initial draft and she's going, Allison is going, looking at presenting that at the August board meeting. The results from the NC Commerce here in April. Any other thoughts? And we'll pass it over to the fun one.
Thank you.
This is fun too, but theirs is way more fun, so. We good for now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this will be here, please feel free to stop by, we appreciate your feedback, and, we look forward to fixing things.
And then, just real quick, is the best way for any other comments after today, so that'd be best to pass that for you, and I'm happy to
Yeah, you're
gather
welcome
up
to talk
any-
to me, Abby, the board.
Within 10 days, they have 10 days, you can bring, any ideas you have or comments here to Town Hall, Community Center. Or email your comments or ideas.
I think it would just, you know, if you could filter them through Abby or I, or any of the board members, and it comes back to us, that is most ideal, because we're working with Land of Sky and CPL. So, you know, Nancy's in the office, Laura is too, you know, and you know, the board has other ways to contact us, so.
And then, y'all can let me know what you need, if there's information, documentation to pass on for community. Happy to do that.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, appreciate it.
And now the fun one?
Well, they did all the community meetings and.
Mary Abby, do we need to do the resolution for?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. First, before I read all of this, does the board want to apply for this grant? To do the second floor at a town hall? Whereas the Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen has indicated its desire to assist in Hurricane Helene recovery efforts within the Town of Hot Springs. And whereas the board fully supports the proposed project for Hot Springs Business Spaces, second floor town hall, which will result in the interior rehabilitation of the second story of the existing town hall building to create approximately 2 to 3 office or small business spaces for local businesses. Whereas the board wishes to pursue a formal application in the amount of $10 million or however much the project is costed out from the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program. And now therefore be it resolved by Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen that Town of Hot Springs is authorized to submit a formal application to the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program for Hot Springs Business Spaces, second floor town hall. That this resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption. Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution to apply for the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program for the second floor of town hall?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
One second.
All in favor?
Thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Chris Choyel. I'm the director of the Appalachian Design Center, which is a program of Mountain True. Mountain True is a nonprofit working across 24 counties in western North Carolina. And I've been heading up the Design Center since 2007. So the organization functions by recruiting volunteer designers who give their time and their expertise to communities and work directly with those communities to be able to address whatever concerns you have and be able to present designs that can reflect your needs. So we were here in May, and in our last round, we had 4 alternate designs. I believe it was 4 that we presented to the group and solicited feedback from everyone. We heard about what things made sense in this space given the flooding that happened here, and what would be legal in this space, as well as what would be practical. And with the feedback that we received both from council and from the general public, the team went back to the drawing board, and they're here tonight to be able to present a final design. I'm not a designer myself, so this is where I get to step aside very easily. I'll turn things over to Erin and have her walk us through this.
Hey everybody, my name is Erin Marcino. I'm an architect. I work in Asheville. We're also going to hear from Dennis hiding back there after I go over the general concepts. So as Chris said, when we were here in May, the team of volunteers, which there's 4 of us total, presented 4 designs. Was anybody here at that meeting? I recognize a couple faces. We presented 4 very different ideas, all sort of addressing the floodplain in different ways. At that meeting, we mentioned that we expected the design base flood elevation to be somewhere between 3 to 4 feet above where we're standing now. And we know, or we heard that there was 4 feet of flood water in this building. One of our design directives was to kind of confirm that, to understand how that would impact the use of the building. And what we heard from, I think it was CPL or an associated engineering firm, was that the design-based flood elevation was actually an additional 2 feet higher than we had kind of thought it was, and that there was some studies being done that could even increase it higher. And there's a lot of challenges with trying to renovate this space and bring it to current codes, including having the finished floor elevation elevated, at this point getting to 6 feet above current floor level. So as a design team, we kind of coalesced around one of the designs that was presented at that meeting, which was called the Healing Pavilion. And it was a concept to sort of provide an open community pavilion in this space that would house a lot of diverse functions that were important to everyone to be able to use space as for gatherings, family reunions, maybe a farmer's market, dance classes, you know, kind of open to all. But it was also important to preserve the historic character of the building as much as possible while making it resilient. I apologize, y'all can't see everything. But what we're showing here is a open floor plan that would extend across both this building and the old jail next door. This front elevation shows retaining a large portion of the facade of the building, but basically extending all of the openings to the ground to allow water to pass through in the future. So you retain portions of the facade, the historic stone of the building. You remove the roof, which has a lot of structural issues and water issues already and would likely need to be replaced no matter what. And we raise it up and provided a large hip roof structure over that, letting in a lot of just like light, air throughout this open pavilion. We have shown 2 restrooms at the corner. That was a lot of feedback that we got, was that there was a need for public restrooms in the town. That could be open to travelers, visitors, anyone else. So we have a couple of those shown, as well as a maintenance room and storage room for tables, chairs, even like gas heaters, anything that the town may own that would need to be secured at different times. And this side faces the residential building next door, so it also provides some privacy on that side. And then the other sides are mostly open. We have some pictures here of some precedent images, and then I'd love to turn it over to Dennis to talk about his beautifully rendered plan.
And before I start, I wanted to also mention that this pavilion, could be enclosed, either with garage doors or some type of units to come down, so it could be enclosed. It wouldn't be really heated, but it would be protected from the elements. But the purpose is just so it can open up and water, if there is water, it can flow through. We can hose it down and clean it back up. And on the site itself, well, it's, we're here, and it's relatively small. We're limited in space on the outside. But I did want to show there is approximately 12 feet in the back here. I wanted to kind of incorporate a multi-purpose patio back there for people to barbecue or people to, if there is some type of food thing happening, they can bring their units and set up there on the outside and supply the food for the event. And then also there's a space here for a food truck to stop that kind of would cater the event. And then the rest of the area outside, we wanted to kind of make it as gardeny as we can, but it is limited. But one of the things that came up in the previous talks was just like to have some type of projects for the community originate from here. Whether it's there's garden clubs, there's 4-H, would come and plant. And one idea was to kind of plant pollinators and then kind of almost create like a planter that you might see all through the town with pollinators and kind of, or some type of planting. Pollinators would be one. And kind of create some community projects. And I know even come from Spring Creek, and even there we have like a wood sharing, firewood sharing project, which really has been very successful. People bring wood, chop it up, and people need it, they take it. Not they bring it and we store it. And so that creates some type of space where that could happen. And then have a couple benches and that, but mainly just to make it a community space. That's the purpose. And we're living here, we're still keeping all the town parking behind it, which is needed. So that's,
Questions?
Yes. I didn't quite follow. How high is the floor above the street level, and how do you get up to it?
So that's the benefit of having more of a non-enclosed space, is that we can keep the floor level at basically where it is now at grade. So it'd be fully accessible. And that was one of the big challenges we were running into with trying to renovate and have enclosed heated space, was we'd have to provide accessible entrances through elevators or really long ramps. And that was, impacting the design.
I love, because I've seen from kind of the beginning, the first process you all went through in the presentations, and I love how this has evolved. And seeing that it has evolved to more of a open pavilion plan, I personally would love to see closures, whether it's a garage door or some kind of flaps costed into the project, because I fear that if it's not costed in, it's something we'll never see happen. And I'd love to see like a stone fireplace worked in, so that there could be some heat source for a wintertime event, for a winter market. I know that's not like a, hey, we're gonna get it up to, 70 in here if it's 30 outside, but to have some kind of year-round usage, I think would be really important. So I'd love to see the addition of a fireplace costed into it as well, and utilize more stonework in the design to make that happen, so it kind of ties in with the facade of the building.
yeah, that was an idea, we wanted to put that in and be able to enclose it, whether it was garage doors or flaps that came down, sliding doors or something, so it could be closed. Used a little more into the colder times.
What's the dimensions on the patio? How big?
Patios are 12 feet out, and it's like length. It's probably about 30 feet by 12.
We thought about also including maybe some fire pits out back, or I love the idea of like a big,
A big
impressive
stone
fireplace.
This is our chance to shoot
Yeah.
for the moon, right? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
is in this grant process. So if we could have some feature that would also generate heat, that would be awesome.
And you don't think this is competing with the second floor project? They'll
be in different rounds.
They'll be in different rounds.
And this is a bigger space for bigger activities.
And this grant application hasn't opened up yet. We anticipate the second round for fall funding to be opening up. So none of the projects are being applied for at the same time.
We're also wondering if there is any, natural gas available in the town. Because that was something we're trying to think through, if we could have, gas heaters or something, but.
You are losing this building.
Yes.
Okay. And if I understood you right, if we wanted to bring this building into something new, we'd have to be 6 feet above our heads right now.
Right, and even providing a ramp to that takes up so much of the building.
Yeah, and for instance, this wood that's being used now, that could continue for, as long as is needed. But if you get above a certain percentage cost of the renovation, then you're required to bring up to code.
I'm wondering if this building would have to be 6 feet, why not Town Hall? Why does it not have to be 6 feet above the street?
That's a good question.
I think it's exactly what she just said. If a certain percentage, like if you cross, I think it's like over 50% or something, there's a certain number they set. One is a renovation, one is a rebuild.
It's the percentage.
And once you get to rebuild, you have to meet current
It's the
code.
percentage
If you're
of the original
renovating,
building
you
that's
don't have to necessarily do that.
Yeah, I think, there's some different thresholds. One is like if you're touching more than 50% of the building, and then for the, which of course we will, because just to renovate that half is over 50%. And then with the flood regulations, it's something similar to if you renovate beyond 75% of the cost of the value of the current building, then you now have to comply with the flood regulations, which is, we didn't look into the value of this building, but we know that would be quite expensive to renovate fully, so we were
assuming.
Well, how was the decision made about the 6 feet if we don't know what the value of the building is, if that's a part of the decision?
You know, that's a,
Also structurally, this, like the walls and, I mean, it needs a new roof.
Well, okay, but I mean, do we know what it would cost to renovate this whole building, this whole thing?
We could, I think generally we could kind of do a square foot analysis and I think ballpark.
Well, I mean, somebody must have made that calculation if they say it has to be 6 feet higher.
Yeah,
Right.
CPL, the engineering firm that did that work, and I think it was a simple matter of the entire other half of this building, plus the roof over the entire thing's got, it's not just like a re-roofing too, it's fully structural, and I think it's additionally, the stone walls that are currently structural cannot be on a new roof. They would need to be additional structure. The current structural walls would essentially become a facade, and I think that was where that calculation came from. Like,
Yeah, we can definitely follow up on that and on the town for getting that value. But I think internally we estimated it'd be well over $1 million to do the type of renovation that we have expected and that concept.
Is there any, would any work be done on the parking lot in this project?
That's another project.
Yeah, that's
Another
probably,
project.
that's already said, yeah, the parking lot.
That project's being held up by FEMA, by the same way, like, they have a portion and then there's money set aside to finish it.
It's happening though. It's gonna happen. And I'm sorry, I don't know if I heard you correctly. In order to heat the space, like if there were roll down doors and to provide heat to the space, it had to be ADA? Is that, or did I just put that?
No, but if we start doing all this mechanical stuff, that's all gotta be up.
Oh, 6 feet, okay. Okay.
And nothing like mechanical, electrical equipment that cannot be below the flood elevation, so everything would need to be like mounted overhead.
Okay.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd ask you to consider is like just the security.
Yeah, that's literally the first thing that went through my head when you told me it was an open pavilion space. I mean, we're a small town, but things at 3 o'clock in the morning are things at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and. Surely no hikers would wander through and decide that's where they're camping.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say that there are towns on the AT that have pavilions that allow hikers to stay in them and welcome hikers to do that. Just throwing that out there, I'm not saying we want to, but that is, it's a thing.
And I'm wholeheartedly not
hikers.
against that at all, but there, you know, also becomes the concept of when do they stop being hikers and start being residents?
Well, yeah, after
That's
more than
my
a
point.
night
It's
or
not,
two.
it's not the hikers that are the problem.
Exactly.
It's yes.
Yeah.
1 week, never mind, it's been dedicated, it's been declared.
I would think it's something like this, I think they regulate a night or two in other towns.
Yeah, just like
More than
security
one or two nights.
Yeah.
Maybe
That wouldn't
some
be
type
hard.
of gates that
You know,
can
I
be
think,
closed.
you know, you definitely be able to bring down garage doors, or we weren't, the intent was to close it. Secure. We are always in the jail.
Jail's interest rate.
Jail's not increases jail.
I think the goal was really to make it a community space, and I
Yeah.
think with that base flood elevation, it really changed a lot of ideas.
Oh,
Yeah, well, a lot of people
yeah.
Well, that's,
Do I still think those are a great idea? I mean,
well, I think it was fine for like 2 feet, but 4 feet.
sure,
I'm not-
but we're still, those whole levy ideas have now been out the window. You have to, remember on your first drawing, yeah. The weirs, that was the word, the word levy was coming to my head, but the weirs is what they use down in the Tampa General Hospital that is fantastic, that I highly recommend for,
Do you know how high
they're
You're talking
about
about flood.
5 feet.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, Tampa General? No, those are 9 feet.
Those
Those
are
are
9 or 10 feet.
Okay.
Those are 9-foot walls.
Yeah, I mean, I have
We've seen them in action.
I've seen them in
I mean,
action.
that's what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, I've seen them, like, I grew up on Davis Island, do you know what I'm saying, so, like there's work, and I was wondering if there's those ideas and concept has been pushed off to the side, because I still think that maybe you do this great work and it's beautiful and everything has it, and then the next storm comes through and it all goes into the French Broad again, you know, like.
Is that built into the design though? Is the design of this
There
so that if there
was.
is a flood, that this should be able to handle it?
That's the
and,
reason why I put it open.
you know, the construction is such that it wouldn't absorb the water and blah, 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 and things, you know.
Well, that was looked at one time, I wasn't comfortable going above, 2 or 3 feet. But if you say 9 feet.
Listen, it's magic. I don't try to understand it. It's hocus pocus stuff. But yes, I have seen it hold back up. It was probably, the water was 7 feet up.
But that concept has now been pushed to the side.
At the moment, there's more that we're gonna just let the water go through it.
Sure.
Close it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I saw it.
So this one is gonna be on the next round?
Yes, it opens up in the fall, but we wanted to make sure
September.
we provided a public hearing. What's that?
September,
No.
or is it August?
It's not open yet. We're anticipating the funding to be open sometime in the fall. That's as much as we know. And that's NC Commerce, like Land of Sky, but it's all anticipating it to open.
But this current design is made for the water to come in, go through, go out,
And be
us
okay.
go in and hose it down, spruce it back up, and off we go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I love it.
That's amazing. That's how they do the first floor in all the houses down there in Tampa now. First floor has to be knock away, hose it out, go back to living in it.
Yeah, concrete, stone,
Yeah.
resilient.
I've seen with the bathrooms and the storage for the, yeah.
Those would probably be cinder block or,
Okay, so do we, since we're that far out, do we need to go ahead and do the resolution, or does the board, I mean, do you have other considerations you want to wait on that? Are there any questions? Do you like this design? What's the board's pleasure?
I think since there's not a date that we're looking at, everybody could just kind of marinate a little bit on this design and think about that some. And we wouldn't have the resolution already intact, so that we could actually think about it a little bit. It's a great, I thought my whole time sitting here listening, I thought about Murray's Branch down there, where the water just flows through, they hose it down like you said, and then, but you also have people that live here that had baby showers here. When we go to tear this down, you're gonna have local residents that are probably have a tearful a moment, because all of a sudden we've torn down this building and this structure that has heating and light and comfort for other people, and at the same time, we're building a new thing in here that's wonderful, and both of them are wonderful. It's a wonderful way to look at it, but you also need a little bit of time for people to look at that and let it marinate and set a little while. That's just my opinion. I don't know if we need to do the resolution tonight. That's just totally an opinion. We could do the resolution in the fall if that's what we're wanting, to move on. Cena, what do you think we need to do? It's not that we're opposed to anything. That's not it at all. We've had sessions and time and input and so many people giving their thoughts. And so we appreciate all of that. I just don't know if we need to do that tonight or not.
And the resolution is not for the design.
Right.
It's to apply for the grant.
Just to apply for the grant.
I would almost, so when this opens up, we would probably, with this project, since it's very much about public input, we probably would do, when the grant opens up, more public sessions for more feedback, and this, and they've put together a lot of designs.
Well, they had 4 totally different
Very
ones.
quickly.
That was amazing.
They were
We
in here.
looked at all of them.
Yeah.
That was wonderful to be able, and they were all different.
Yeah.
So it's really neat what they've done.
Yeah, and they were in here last week
Yeah.
finalizing and discussing and seeing the space again. They met here, and so I mean, it's up to you all to think what you want to do is best, but this is like the official public hearing, and it had to be put, but ideally we would have more time to post that, because it has to be posted, I think, for 2 days. Brian, did it get posted twice?
Yeah, so you get bonus points for the second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it goes in the paper twice for so many days.
And if we're needing to do this just to apply for the grant, we're not making any decisions. I want to say that just out loud to everybody sitting, so you don't walk away thinking, oh no, they've done this. We've not. We're just looking at all of the different options to be able to have that as well. So that's a totally different way to look at it as well.
Yeah, we talk a lot, we've talked a lot about water coming through and back or whatever. Has anybody discussed, making a drawbridge perhaps?
All of the
Is there
pieces-
anybody talking about prevention by
Absolutely.
creating a drawbridge?
We talked about
Or
multiple,
some
all
other
of
way.
that's with,
There's
yeah, there's been a
multiple
ton of work
organizations talking about.
about
Are they
the
talking
different
about that?
structural pieces of
And are
that
we gonna
bridge.
talk about that here sometime?
A
Not
drawbridge isn't
Not
going to
now.
be an option.
No, it's not an
And
option.
replacing the bridge isn't going to be an option. But there are mitigation grants that we've been awarded that are looking at upstream possibilities of what can be done before that much water gets into town.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
And great organizations that have partnered with us on it.
As a town, we don't own Spring Creek Bridge. You know, that's North Carolina Department of Transportation. So that's where you work with so many different people and mitigation and all of that. But yes, to answer your question, so much time, Wendy's put a lot of time and effort into that as well. Yes.
Brian, do you think it would be, don't see any reason, to delay this? I mean, it would be okay, we don't know the
Yeah.
dates, and we would just schedule another when we feel ready? Okay. And are you able to leave these here for a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
that'll be
welcome.
appreciated.
And thank you for all the designs, though. It's amazing to see that what the space could be like 4 different ways, totally different. So, thank you.
Do you want to go ahead and approve the resolution, since it is only to apply for the grant?
Yeah, because we need the grant to do something with the space, absolutely.
All right. Whereas the Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen has indicated its desire to assist in Hurricane Helene recovery efforts within the Town of Hot Springs, and whereas the board fully supports the proposed project by Hot Springs Community Center and Old Jailhouse building business creation, which will result in the rehabilitation of the existing community center and jailhouse buildings to return these flood-impacted properties to service and create small business spaces for local businesses.
Was that the other one?
Brian, isn't that, if we're talking about particularly this design, then it's not going to be creating space for local businesses, right?
I think that was the general working title of the pre-screen application.
Okay.
So that was flexibility. We can also come back with a revised resolution in the future. However you
You
guys
can be
want.
creative and say a food truck could be back there.
Or a farmer's market, you know?
Oh, yeah, a farmer's market.
Yeah,
So we could be creative with that.
well, that could be local business, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the board wishes to pursue a formal application in the amount of $10 million from North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program, and now therefore be it resolved by Town of Hot Springs Board of Aldermen that Town of Hot Springs is authorized to submit a formal application to the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program for Hot Springs Community Center and Old Jailhouse building business creation. Do you have a motion to adopt the resolution to apply for the grant, the North Carolina Department of Commerce Community Development Block Grant Commercial District Revitalization Program, Hot Springs Community Center and Old Jailhouse building business creation? Got a motion?
I make the motion.
I didn't know if you were gonna, just if you were doing it or what. We were doing it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, we've really enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we-
you.
As we get closer to the application, you know, our team stands ready to work with y'all to come up with that design that y'all feel 100% confident in.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of work.
We have some, on the SharePoint are the quotes from auditors. We got 3 different quotes for our audits for fiscal year 25-26.
Sydney, have you worked with Carter?
I have not worked with them, but I know a lot of them.
Cena, you taking this one?
Sure. So the prices are listed there. There was a lot of different factors why that Carter does sound like the best auditing firm. They're also doing other local audits. They're doing, I believe, Sydney's also mentioned Marshall's audit. They are doing Chimney Rock, so they would be quite familiar with FEMA projects, the necessary tracking and financial documents needed. They also being local, what we have found, and by the guidance of our previous auditors when we put together the request for proposals or quotes, was that we do not want to do an audit that is mostly remote. And we would prefer that in conversation and that with being able to ask questions and different things. I believe, I can't remember if it was AAPG, they're a really big firm. And if you look over, the quotes are rather lengthy, and there's two documents per auditing firm. Some of their auditors were in Michigan, some were in Florida. So that's a pretty good indication that they're going to want to do a mostly remote audit. Whiteville, same way, they have a long distance. They did not include travel expenses in their audit, so that's also indication of electronic. And what was the other thing about the Whiteville folks?
I don't think they bid single audit. I think that's why, weren't they the lower amount?
Yes, yes.
'Cause
So
they have not included the single audit.
and because of the amount of federal and state funding we're receiving, we're going to have a single audit, and that's why we had to increase the amount to Loudermilk auditing firm, the current one. And we're looking for a new auditor because they are getting out of doing government audits. So that's why we recommend Carter, is that they're local. Their quote was for a single audit. And they seem to have a lot of FEMA experience. They also do the Biltmore Forest or Biltmore Village. I saw that in their references. So they have a lot of experience locally and with folks experiencing FEMA projects for the first time.
Yeah, they have an Asheville office. They also have offices, I believe I looked at all 3 of them. I think they have offices in Charlotte, maybe in Greensboro. But the office that would be working with Hot Springs would be in Asheville.
What do you need from us on that one? Just who we want?
We just
or-
need to vote on who we're gonna use.
Yeah, we just need a recommendation, since Sydney recommends Carter.
That's
Yeah.
still,
Okay, so I need a motion
fine
to
with that?
approve
Yeah.
Carter.
yeah, absolutely. I'll make that recommendation to have Carter be the firm that we choose.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Okay, and then the next one is more of just moving funds in the general fund. So the administrator's salary is budgeted under governing body. However, it really should be in the finance office, and with the new software, they recommended doing a budget amendment. So that's just the remaining that would go from the general fund of governing body to the general fund of finance office.
You're just not changing any amounts, you're just moving
Renew-
it into another spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
same amount.
Okay.
And then with the fireworks, it seems like in all of our back and forth with the fire department and making adjustments that the $500 was removed from there. So we received the check for the fireworks, and so it's just putting it there.
I have a motion to approve both budget amendments. There's a budget amendment to move salary from, governing body to finance, and the budget amendment to add back the $500, in the fire department fund for fireworks. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Click on that, is that pulling
No, I tried it earlier.
Does it want you to log in?
Not working?
It won't let it pull
it?
up.
It just won't pull up anything. That's fine. I'm just listening. Will you pull it up? You click on it?
Mine just says there's nothing there.
It's there, all right.
See, it's just saying resource cannot be found.
Like if you could do the budget amendment salary, and you click on it. Just saying here, imagination. That's okay. I mean, those aren't complicated. We don't need to, the amounts aren't changing, so that's, you're just.
Yeah, were you able to pull up any of the other auditors or any of that stuff?
I pulled everything up until this point, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't pull any of these three before I came.
Starting at number 2, finance is where it started, where you can't pull it up. So, but nothing's complicated right there. So, like the CEUs, next thing we're going, oh, do you need, have we already done everything we need to do with those two?
If you come back here, you're on the agenda,
Yeah.
so the link's not working, but it
Yeah,
is
it's not
listed
working.
under, in the,
In the Board of Aldermen.
July BOA meeting.
All right.
So all of the documents are there. So on agenda items. And July BOA meeting.
That's fine. I can start.
Can you open the agenda items?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's okay, open agenda items. Yeah, July BOA.
Yeah. Oh, now the amendments are done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Was it able to open or?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is just a flyer for CEUs that Jeremy and Justin will be attending on the 28th. It was a free class. So we went ahead and registered them for that. I thought you just might like to see what they'll be attending, and I can't wait to hear about it. Yeah, tell us all about it, I'm sure.
He's ready.
Yeah.
But it is, where is it? So they'll be gone.
They'll be gone all day. It's 9 to 4. Where is it at?
It's just down at Morgan.
Okay. So it's not too far. Like an hour and a half, hour 45. Yeah. If they take a town truck.
About an hour, probably,
Hour and a half. Okay. And then 2D will also be in the SharePoint. It's just where our bank accounts are now. I did in the SharePoint, I didn't add it to the agenda, but in the SharePoint is our new budget to actual report from Southern Software. We're only 13 days into it, so there's not a whole lot. And we had training last week, and we've got a lot more things to make adjustments on to, but not a whole lot's changed. So that's just the full budget to actual. I thought you might like to see the new formatting.
Yeah.
It's a little different looking to get used to, but I didn't change anything about the formatting. We can do a summary, but there just wasn't a whole lot to summarize it 2 weeks in. I think. And thank you, that's all. Unless you have any questions.
We have a McGill recommendation to award. It's for the Housing Authority Sandfelder septic tank lids repair. Huntley Construction was the lowest bid, and they provided a bid of $71,246. This is FEMA funds, so this will be paid by FEMA. Just need a motion to approve the recommendation to award. To Huntley Construction. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
That was for what?
Hmm.
That was for what again?
That
Housing
Housing
authority.
authority centers lives
Live.
toward
Lives.
to home construction. I'd like to request that the old maintenance pickup truck that Donnie was driving that is falling apart. I'd like to request that we put that out on as surplus property. We've already had someone interested in it. He would like to purchase it for parts. I know that we don't have to ask for bids for that. So Larry, how should that go out?
You accept his offer.
Set an amount?
Yeah, accept the offer.
Just accept the offer and not advertise it?
It's up to you.
It's up to the board. So I don't know what he's offered them in here and wanted to purchase it, but he didn't say what, so. I think that's up to the board if you want to go ahead and accept the offer that was made for that truck.
How have we done surplus in the past?
We put it on the website.
For a certain amount of time and then let it go?
Certain amount of time, depending on what it is, let's say like 500 or best offer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that truck's worth 500 on this. It's up to y'all. How you'd like to post it. Do you want to put it on the website?
I think that's fair. You know, put it on there and then let him have it after a week if no one says anything. Is that good? Is that good?
Sure.
Sure.
So post it, do you want to post it as best offer? Or do you want a dollar amount or best offer?
I just think best offer, keep it simple. Just best offer, we want to get rid of it, right?
Best offer within 1 week.
I think, don't you? That's fair to everybody involved.
If anybody else is interested, I'd be surprised.
Okay, the planning board, did meet. Kristen came to that planning board meeting and she asked them, she expressed some concerns about the change in the ordinance on data mining, data centers, cryptocurrency mining facilities. And the planning board, reviewed the information and they agree. So they would like for the board to pass a moratorium. They're requesting a 1-year moratorium pausing all special use applications for data centers, cryptocurrency mining facilities, server farms, and high-density digital infrastructure within Hot Springs zoning jurisdiction. And that is in order to allow sufficient time to close the regulatory gaps identified and to develop definitions, performance standards, and other protective amendments to the zoning ordinance. That moratorium is lengthy, and it's in the SharePoint. If you've had time to review that. So, do I have a motion to approve and pass the moratorium on data centers?
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Then we have a Land of Sky, we have an amendment to the Land of Sky FEMA public assistance work. The original contract was for $40,000, and this amendment adds, increases that amount to $15,000, so the total contract would be for $55,000, and this is for Land of Sky assisting us with all of the FEMA public assistance information that we have to give to FEMA, all of the invoices and spreadsheets, and Erin's she's been great. And these funds are paid by, there's a 5% administrative grant that FEMA provides for 5% of our total projects. And that 5% will more than pay for this contract. So do I have a motion to approve the amendment to the interlocal agreement with Land of Sky for public assistance administration?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah, easier than.
Next thing I have is a Land of Sky Master Services Agreement. Now, this came in late. It's in the SharePoint. You probably have not had time to read it. This is for grant administration. The total amount, the total contract would be total funds of $118,555.69. Now, those funds will be taken out of each individual grant that they're assisting us with. There's administrative cost and grant administration in those grants. So that would go to the Land of Sky for their assistance. And this is also, it's a different format than they've been using. They'll now provide task orders. And if there's a new grant, if we get a new grant and we want Land of Sky to administer that grant, then it'll be easier for them just to add a task order, to request that a task order authorization be added for that particular grant, instead of having to go back and amend the whole contract. So right now, this contract and the task orders involved are for the NC Commerce, the Small Business Infrastructure Grant. It's for North and South Andrews Sidewalk, North Bridge Street Sidewalk, and South Bridge Street Sidewalk, and also for the SRF Helene Water Grant and the SRF Helene Sewer and pump station repairs and upgrades.
This is a lengthy one, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just got this today. If you want more time to review it, and especially more time for Larry to review it,
Yeah.
because he just got it when he got here today. They're not going to stop working for us. They've already been doing this. They just are just now getting contractors.
As you were talking, I was trying to go through it.
Yeah.
and, you know.
I don't think it's gonna be a problem with them. If we don't sign it. If you don't approve it tonight. They're still
It's not,
gonna
we're
have
not
us.
approving it, let us just read it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to the departments now. Nancy, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Sarah Jo here? Can't see. Wendy, anything for entertainment committee?
No, I mean, we had a great time on Fork.
Thank you for
Thank
what
you
you
for,
did.
for the
Yeah.
school. It was fun.
Fire department? Jeremy?
Not got anything much, just wanna thank, want to you know about the NFC folks are trying to get ready to start coming back. They're wanting to put their new, I guess they call it officer or workers quarters, across the creek in Silver Pine, where the old barbecue place used to be. Even though I knew that, but I do. And, they wanna put it over there, it'll be a 2-story type thing, they're thinking with like their kitchen area in the bottom, because it's gotta be 2 feet above the 100-year flood is what their surveyor folks told them. Well, and the floodplain manager. And then they'll put a quarters on top. They're wanting to have water and sewer. The sewer tap will be pretty easy. There's sewer already over there because the lift station's on that side of the creek. The water's gonna be a little bit more, not a challenge, but a little bit more to do as far as we're gonna try to connect behind where the old meter was for the house that got burned down. We're gonna come down, bring it across the road, so we'll have to cut the road in two. We figured that'd probably be better for us to do that than them because there's a water main and a sewer main in that road. And I feel better if we took care of that. Bring the meter over and set it beside the creek, on our side or on this side of the creek. And then they'll be responsible for whichever way they wanna go about crossing the creek, whether they wanna go under it, sleeve it, put it through it, whichever they wanna do, but we won't be responsible for crossing that creek with that line, so just wanted you to be aware of that's in the works. Eventually down the road, they say they might even try to rebuild something, or more worker, the buildings like they had possibly back on the side where the house burned down, but they just don't know that yet. They're gonna start on the other side. Apparently they're having folks rent and putting people all over the place, so they wanna get back here and start setting back up.
They have a timeline, or are they just talking about it?
They're wanting to move, waiting until we know tonight that everything's okay, and the floodplain manager told them it was okay, it's their property, and we can provide what they need as far as what utilities they need. It'll be up to you guys, if you think that's good to go, we can go with it. But,
With all the construction around there, I just didn't know all of that mess that's around there, that's,
it's a lot.
it's a lot going on down there. I didn't know if that would impede them.
Shouldn't.
Okay.
As far as it just be traffic, builders and trucks and whatever, if they decide to do that, then they may decide they wanna do some work on that little bridge. There's a couple of boards broke on it, it's been broke for ages, so I don't know, he didn't mention that when we met with him a couple of weeks ago. They just wanna get something started back over there, and that's actually a little bit higher grade, believe it or not, across there. Kinda on a little hump than the old place was.
What do you need from us?
That's what they're aiming for.
So, what do you need from us, do you think?
Just wanted to make you aware.
Just wanna make see if
I
that's
don't think
okay.
it's a good idea.
Regular tap fees should be a community cover, both the sewer and the water tap, because they'll both be new. So I imagine we'll require that as far as, fees for services.
Is the moratorium on new taps over?
Hmm?
The moratorium over for new water taps?
Not
Not
yet.
on the wastewater.
Yeah, they're not ready. But as soon as those package plants get started up, which is happening tomorrow, as long as everything goes good, yep. We will be able to lift that moratorium.
For the next couple of meetings to be able to adjust that moratorium, possibly on the wastewater side.
But I do agree with you doing what you talked about, digging in the road or following the lines or doing whatever that is.
We gotta cross the road at one place and with our new line. We figure it might just be better for us to do that.
Yep.
Whoever to cross there. And there'll be a little bit of expense patching that back, the asphalt, down the road, but we might, like you said, with everything else that's going on,
Maybe they can
we
just
may gravel
repave
it and we might
Yeah.
see if we can get them bridge boys to slide that in. You never
Yeah.
know. So, they've been pretty good about
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
Other than that, like Abby said, the packages are hopefully the guys from Texas should be here tomorrow. Got clean water running in it now. It's a process to start doing things. And still, when you get a chance, you can come check him out. But hopefully, by the first of the week, we'll be able to start seeding it, possibly Friday, with waste from Marshall and Marcy, depending on who's got the best sludge. Start getting some seed in that thing, see what it'll do. That's all we got, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Planning, zoning? I have
We already
anything.
talked about it.
Huh?
Oh, zoning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was already
Yeah.
covered.
Stacy?
Hi.
I'd like to request to transfer our phone service to the police department. We're currently with maintenance, to FirstNet. FirstNet is AT&T. The cost is the same that we're paying right now for US Cellular, but I'm unable to use the system. Our MiFi isn't working, hasn't worked for months. It's the same cost, so there's no fees. They said I can take over the phone that we already have currently, so there's no additional cost to switching to FirstNet. FirstNet is also a first responder system, so we get first access as well. So if lines go down, we have FirstNet. The sheriff's office uses it also. I believe even fire, Josh has it as well, and it works. So I made sure it worked in our area. I would be able to then use our systems that we have in place now, like e-citation and that, to have access to that. And it's something I would go, I don't have a quote for you or anything, it's the same cost. I would have to go to Asheville and set it up for the town.
So would you just bring that to Cena? Is that what we should do? Just bring that to Cena and we'll go from there? Okay.
And then the other request is, the 2 additional officers that we talked about swearing in part-time. I'd like to purchase their items that they need to start, within the next month. So that would be about $600. It is in budget.
Yeah, just send that to Cena and we'll get them started. Thank you for doing that, to get new people.
And we have moved in the office.
Ah, congratulations.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Good.
we're moved in. I moved in last Wednesday.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, good.
Everything's working great. So
Is it wonderful?
Yay.
Okay, good, good.
We hope to follow soon. TJ, you got anything?
Yeah,
Rebuild?
actually, so now that the police department has moved back into the police department, and the first floor of town hall is looking beautiful, we need the town to design some new canopies on the front of that building, because Rebuild has approved paying to replace those. Obviously, FEMA wasn't covering the cost of those and all the flood damage, so where the Bridge Street side over Town Hall is just gonna be a reskinning of the frame that's there. The one on the police department side, is gonna be removed and a whole new frame is gonna go up on there, so it sits in line with everything else, including Town Hall. I think, I know what Chief Stacy was saying, it was that to have something on there that indicated like police department or Hot Springs, police department, something like that, and I don't know if the town wants anything like printed on the vinyl that goes over on the town hall side, but we're just asking for y'all to pick color and design them, that's all it's waiting on, so.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's great. Laura?
At the close of the last fiscal year, which was June 30th, we had collected 99.16% of town real taxes. So I think that's awesome. Thank you.
Good job. Kevin? Wendy, you have anything? No? Tammy?
No, just thank you, a special thank you to all the girls in here that are working on, and you too, Sydney, thank you for being down here and doing all that training, that's not easy, and moving around, and that's hard to do, so thank you all for going through that training.
And I think they might actually enjoy it eventually.
Nancy shoots a dagger.
It's too soon to say.
Worse things have happened.
At this time, would like a motion to move to executive session.
I make a motion.
Second? All in favor?
Thank you guys for coming out.